Hey everyone, Amanda Mazey, Country Roads Trust. This guy, Randy Mazey,
This girl.
WVU Baseball. Also my husband, in case you didn't know. Why are you not home right now loading the dishwasher and vacuuming?
Because I already did it today.
Yeah,
Kidding
right.
me?
Never. All right, 2023 season coming up. Believe it's the 11th season under your helm.
It's a personal record.
It is a personal record. Expectations this year.
The ones we put on ourselves are always good, as you know. You never know, though, until you start playing. You know, we play all these inter-squad games, and every time you play an inter-squad game, you win one and you lose one. So you have no idea how it's going to go till the season starts. But kind of like where we're at right now, I think the guys are ready to play another team, and we'll see how it goes.
Lost some pieces, brought some pieces in. Just kind of talk about what you're expecting from your veterans, from your new guys, and who you're expecting to step up.
Yeah, the interesting thing is with the transfer portal now and NIL and the world we live in, we have 40 guys on the team, 20 of them are returning and 20 of them are new. So when you're dealing with that many new guys, you never know what you're going to get until you see another team show up. But kind of like where we're at right now, we got some veterans back that are playing well, and the new guys have really bought into what we're trying to do. So I think we have a chance to be pretty good, but we'll see when we start hitting, throwing, and catching.
You have been a very vocal proponent of NIL. How important is that for your program?
Not just my program, but all programs. We live in a different world now, and it's kind of funny that everybody you talk to that doesn't know much about it, their immediate reaction is negative about the NIL and the transfer portal, and this will be the ruination of college athletics, and that's really not true. You know, it's an opportunity now, especially in our sport. We are the single most underfunded sport in all the NCAA, so if we have an opportunity to help our kids pay for school, which they all have to, I think it'll be really important. But the most important thing is it gives us an opportunity to retain our best players. If you don't retain your best players, you literally have no chance. If you own a business and can't retain your best employees, you have no chance of having success. So through the NIL, I think we can make a real attempt to retain our best players. And you know, it's kind of we're different in West Virginia because there's only 2 Division I schools in the state, and we have a huge fan base around the state. Unlike any other program, you know, those states are divided up amongst 10 or 15 schools. You know, in the state of West Virginia, everybody likes the Mountaineers, so the fans actually have a chance now to have a hand in whether you win or not. You know, and 3, 4, 5 years from now, you look at the field of teams in the College World Series, they're all going to be made up of players who are receiving NIL packages, and if you don't do that, you have no chance to compete. So if the fans in the state of West Virginia want to have a great baseball program, now they can. We know the formula now. It's no secret anymore as to how to win, and it's going to take a lot of people around the state to jump on board and believe in the NIL and be okay with the NIL and want to have a big part in whether we win or lose.
You know, you talked about retaining. You've had to, your entire career, because this is college baseball with the draft, kids can get drafted after their junior year, so you have to, before NIL, you know, make it worthwhile for them to come back for their senior year. Now you can have money to say, look, if you stay, there's going to be money for your senior year, because a lot of kids will sign after their junior year because they have to pay off debt because, like you said, it's underfunded. Everybody's going to graduate with debt. There are no full scholarships in baseball. So that's going to be really important with retaining those older guys who can propel you forward.
Yeah, the deal in college baseball, for those people that don't know, our guys you can sign pro after your junior year. And when they're drafted after their junior year, they usually get a pretty sizable signing bonus because they still have the option to come back as a senior, so they have a little bit of leverage. If they get drafted after their senior year, they have no other option. So a typical signing bonus for a kid drafted in the 10th to 20th round is 6 figures as a junior, but as a senior, it's $5,000 or $10,000. So if we have a way to counter offer what they're offered as a junior after college and we can retain some of those juniors and get them to come back for their senior year, imagine how that could make your team better. Those are the best players on your team, but usually, historically, the juniors that are drafted sign pro. But if they were come back as seniors, that would make a huge difference in our team, because you look at last year's team. You know, Jake Waters, our best pitcher, and Victor Scott, our center fielder, were drafted as juniors and signed pro. And if those guys were on this year's team, they'd be great players. So through the NIL, we have an opportunity to convince some of these kids to come back and graduate, get their degree before they go off into pro ball. And there are so many advantages to the NIL. So I'm kind of pleading to the people to think positively about the changes that are happening in college baseball, because if you look at it positively, it can be a huge advantage for us.
And a lot of these kids, I mean, you have personal relationships with these kids and these families. A lot of these kids, they really do need that money.
Yeah, that's why they sign pro, because if you're a 20 or 21-year-old kid, would you rather take $150,000 as a junior or $5,000 as a senior? That's why they sign, because it's a lot of money to a 20-year-old kid. But now through the NIL, if people jump on board, we have the ability to convince kids it's better for your future if you were to graduate before you sign pro. All the statistics say that, common sense tells you that. So now we, hopefully, if we get enough people on board with the NIL and sign up for the Country Roads Trust, we can convince some of our best players to come back and get their degree before they move into the professional world.
So you're saying that people should join Country Roads Trust. Is that what I'm getting, Maze?
I'm saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. All right, you're excited about this season?
Yeah, I can't wait to get started. I really like this team. I think we have a chance. We have way more depth than we've ever had on this team. So if we come out and play like I think we're capable, I think we have a chance to have a pretty good year.
All right. You were interviewed by Erin Andrews out in Omaha one year for College World Series. Who's better, me or her?
Is this live TV or can we edit
No pressure.
this?
Come on, you can edit it.
You're the best.
Thanks. Coach Maze,
All right,
the Hubs.
let's go home and have dinner.
You're making it.